Hey everybody, welcome back. I'd like to welcome all the new subscribers, and I'd like to welcome all the current subscribers that have been around, coming back and enjoying the videos. Appreciate you being here. After you've made a rafter like we did in the last video, or laid one out, the first thing that you're going to want to do is take it up onto the roof and test fit it. This, in my opinion, is probably one of the most important things you can do. You're going to want to make sure that those lines that you drew are in the right spot, because if they're not, you're looking at a lot of money lost if you cut them all and they're all wrong. So testing is a good start. So this one here looks good. I'm going to go ahead and use it for my pattern. Now, whenever you frame anything, you got to crown your lumber. Make sure you put the crown up towards the sky for a rafter. So now you can get yourself set up with some sawhorses. Put the template on top of another piece. Get it all lined up. Nice, perfect, exactly the way that you want it. And then what you want to do is you want to tack it together so that it doesn't move on you while you trace it out. Great, so now you're all set up with your own little fabrication shop. Everything that you need is right in front of you. So I'm going to crack a beer and I'm going to get this done. I'll speed everything up for you. You don't want to watch me make 10 rafters. My 10 rafters. All right, well, that's probably about the fastest I've ever worked in my life. 10 rafters complete. So now we gotta lay out the wall where the rafters are gonna sit. So let's talk about the location of the rafters a little bit, and then let's talk a little bit about hurricane ties, an important part of the installation. I don't know if you guys can see the lines, but this is what I was talking about in the beginning. My rafters are going to line up with the wall joists. That lines up with the floor joists, the wall joists below, and the joists on the bottom floor. So all the bearing weight just goes right down to the ground. That's exactly what you want. So here's a couple of different ties that you can get from Simpson Strong Tie, or there's other brands that make them too. Simpson just happened to be the brand name that was sold at the building store I went to. Hurricane ties are what you put on the rafter. This goes on the wall and the rafter sits in here, and then that allows to help rigidity from your rafter turning this way, and hurricane tie, so when it's really windy it doesn't end up disconnecting and blowing off, because you'll think if you put a nail in here on an angle, well, by the time you get a bite into the rafter itself and then get the nail into the top plate, you don't have a lot of material binding those two together. So these with the pins in this way and then into the wall that way, that's going to allow a super strong connection between your wall and your rafter, so any strong winds or stuff isn't going to catch that, even lift it off on you. That's the idea behind it, or the engineered idea. This one here, same concept. This goes on the wall, this goes on the rafter, and holds it in place. So these rafter ties, they also get attached to the building with the engineered Simpson strong tie connector nails, 10D, 1.5 inch. I usually put it up there like that, and then that way it's just kind of holds itself there, and you don't got to really do much. I read the PDF file for these, and it said that it shows in all the pictures them installed on the outside out here, but it says in the PDF that you can install them on either side. Both is acceptable. I find the hardest part with these is getting this first nail right in the middle of the hole. If you don't get it right in the middle of the hole, then if it's off a bit, then it'll move your tie up or down. Or about 11. I didn't need 2 on the ends, so I only needed 10. If I had 3 extra, I'll just use them on this wall. I think these ones are better than the ones on either side. Sorry, the camera's bouncing around on this piece of plywood that I'm using to fill in the stairway. When I'm banging on this wall to put those in, I figured it'd probably be best that I check for level again. I only have bracing on them for now. I need to get it. So, I don't know. I think I said, guys, I gotta have a little talk. My videos are kind of not what I want them to be right now. I'm stressed out about this building. I've got open OSB plywood exposed to the elements, and I need to get a roof on this thing to help protect this. I've got $7,000 plus in lumber invested in. I don't want it to get damaged, so I'm stressing about it, and I'm not taking the time to put out information that I want to put into it and make the videos the way I want to make them. Once I get a roof on and get it protected, hopefully I'll be able to change the style a little bit. But right now, I just need to get this roof on, so I'm kind of giving her, and my mind's all over the place, so I apologize for that. So anyway, thanks for being patient, and I'll get after it here. So the first rafter is the hardest rafter, because I've got to get this thing up here without it falling off the end. Probably snap too. Man, I don't like banging on that wall. I should have put the sidewalls in before I put the before I started putting these rafters on. trumped. I got all the rafters in. So now I gotta put some scabs onto the end of the rafters. I'll put them on the top of the rafter. I'll just show you, it'll be easier. So I'll take this scab here and I'll put it on the top of the rafter on flat, and I'll hang it over the end, and then that'll give me the same pitch angle that I can butt my fascia board up to on the bottom, so that my sheeting doesn't end up getting forced up by my fascia board. So I'll put this scab up on here like this, hang it over the end, and then when I put my fascia board, I'll put it up to the scab, and that'll give me the right height of the fascia board. So there's my 3 scab pieces. Now I'll put the fascia board on up to those. Okay guys, sweet. So that was not very fun, but I got it done. So now I got the fascia board on, and I've already cantilevered my 16 inches for the eaves. And those pieces there, you're probably saying, what the heck is he doing that for? Well, those pieces there are now flush with the edge of the fascia board, so now when I put my sheeting up, I can just rest them up against that, nail it on, call it good. That's my plan anyway. Hopefully it all comes together. So, getting close to getting this thing closed in from the top anyway, so that I don't end up getting any more water on my plywood floor. And it's supposed to rain tomorrow, 10 millimeters they're calling for. I'm not going to get the sheeting and roofing on today, but I think it's time for a break. So I'm going to go and take care of that, maybe have a beer, chillax and appreciate the finer things in life, and I'll get back to you guys when I get started back up again. So hey guys, I'm just hauling here, back at her. Got a couple of sheets up here just tacked temporarily. When I put them up, I measured the joist space, made sure it was still 16 so there were no bows in the wood this way, and that they were standing straight. That helps with the 16 measurement as well. Put them on 16-inch centers at the 4 foot and nailed them again. I'll do that again and then they should be good the rest of the way. I wanted to show you these things. These are little clips that you got to put between the plywood. There's 2 purposes to them. One purpose, there's a little dimple on them, and that dimple allows for a space between the wood. And the second purpose is you put them in between the joist spaces, and then it gives rigidity at the joint in that location. So it's supposed to get really windy tonight. I'll put a couple screws in those to hold them. And then I got some rope. I'm gonna wrap it around the beam up there. Throw it over the edge, and I can use it as a safety hold for while I'm sheeting. It's supposed to be 40-50 km/h winds tomorrow. Gusts, they said. It's gonna be hard to film the roof. I don't think I have my Tiger torch either, and I won't be able to put on the torch on membrane that I have. I look for that tonight. It's something I can easily do while I'm having a beer. Okay guys, I'm gonna get finished up here and pull the pin. It's been a long day. Hey guys, I just got back from a swim. And this guy is sitting here eating. I don't know what he's eating, but he likes it. Let me walk right up to him. Have a good night, Simon.